Welcome back to Life by Z. This is video number 2 in the Winning at Life series. Today what I'm going to talk about here is good habits, right? Good habits for winning the day, right? Winning the day is the key to winning at life. You can't win at life unless you win day to day. If you start developing good habits that help you start winning the day, you're going to make that whole objective that much more easier. Now, the good habits that I'm talking about are what generates momentum during the day, and momentum is a very powerful thing. In anything, whether it's winning the day or it's achieving any type of goal that you set out to achieve, you've got to generate momentum. If you generate momentum early and that generates more momentum as things progress, you create that much more energy and it carries you over the finish line. It's a pretty simple concept. So what we're going to talk about here are good habits to generate momentum and help you start winning the day. Now, let's start by right when you wake up in the morning. And as we go through and we talk about this, I want you to think about these habits that I'm putting out there to you, and I want you to think about how they compare to what you do in your daily life and how you're going about things. Because I think you're going to see that there's a little bit of disconnect over here, and you're going to start to see that, hey, if you can do these simple things and develop these good habits, it's going to have a big impact. So right when you wake up and that alarm clock goes off, don't hit snooze 3 or 4 times like you've probably been doing. You've got to get the day started right away to generate that momentum. I mean, besides, when was the last time something amazing happened to you just when you were laying in bed? All right, hold on a second. Let me rephrase that, right? When was the last time you accomplished something truly amazing just by virtue of sitting around and doing nothing? That's probably a better way to say that one, okay? So when that alarm clock goes off, force yourself to get out of bed. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Z, I get up sometimes and there's just days that I feel like a piece of lead and I can't move my body. And all right, that's called sleep inertia. Everybody gets that from time to time. And I get it. You work hard, you're tired. We're all tired. We're all worn out a little bit. But you know what? You've got to fight through that. And here's the thing. When you start fighting through that for a couple of weeks, eventually you're not going to have to fight through it anymore because you're going to develop good habits, right? And those good habits are eventually going to become instinct. That's what effectively lifestyle change is. So for a few weeks, fight through that. It's called sleep inertia. And the best way to fight off sleep inertia is right when you get out of bed, 20 jumping jacks, 20 push-ups. Now you get the blood flowing. Now you're alert. Now you're a little bit more awake. Second thing that you're going to do is make your bed. If any of you have ever seen the infamous Admiral William McRaven speech, I think it was at the University of Texas. It was for the 2014 commencement address. It's a great speech. It's all over YouTube. Go check this out, right? It's an awesome speech. And one of the things that he talks about is you start winning the day and generating momentum by the first thing you do is you make your bed because you feel like you've accomplished something. You've already done one task, okay? So I firmly believe in that, by the way. Make your bed. Now, I'll add a little Z twist to the whole making your bed thing. When you're making your bed, listen to something that's very motivating and inspiring. I don't care if it's a song. If you have a song out there that is your go-to song, it fires you up, it inspires you, and it makes you feel like you can take on the world, listen to it while you're making your bed. There's also all types of other motivational things out there on YouTube. Ben Lionel Scott has a bunch of great videos out there that I just really enjoy watching. I mean, I watch these videos, I feel like I'm ready to take on the world after just listening to 1 or 2 of them, okay? So whatever it is, whether it's a motivational speech, whether it's a song, go out there, find what it is, and listen to it. What this is going to start doing is it's going to start to basically wake up your frame of mind. It's going to start inspiring you. It's going to start motivating you. You're going to feel something not only here, but you're going to feel something in here too, right? This is generating the energy. This is where the momentum starts, okay? So now you're all spun up. Now, what you progress to at this point, and don't laugh because I know this sounds a little bit silly, but daily affirmations, I firmly believe in them. Say your daily affirmations. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. No one's going to make fun of you. You know what? Successful people say daily affirmations all the time. So figure out what your affirmations are, say your affirmations. And then once you're done with that, I want you to review all of your goals. And I want you to review them out loud too, because it's more powerful actually reviewing them out loud than it is internally. Review what your goals are, your long-term goals, right? Your near-term, your short-term, so on and so forth. Now think about this. If you do this right, in less than 5 minutes, you've already accomplished more than what most people have done within 20 to 30 minutes of waking up. Why? Because most people within 20 to 30 minutes of waking up, they're not even out of bed yet. They hit snooze 3 or 4 times. And then once they finally are up, they sit there and they scroll their phone. They check out Facebook. They look at their emails. They're not up and out of the bed, right? And when they get out of bed, they don't make their bed. They don't do daily affirmations. They don't review their goals. In less than 5 minutes, you've already accomplished, as I said, more than most people have done in 20 to 30, which means you're now 4 to 6 times as efficient and productive. And another theme that you're going to see here as we talk about winning the day is efficiency and productivity. So it's not just momentum, it's efficiency and productivity, right? The momentum's been generated, keep the momentum going. Before you leave your house, next thing you have to do is review your plan of attack for the day. This should have been created the night before, and the key word there is review. It's not you're going to create your plan of attack for the day. You should be reviewing what you already planned last night that you're going to do during the day. It just helps you become that much more in tune with what you have to do. And then once you step off and you leave your house, your apartment, whatever, you're on your way to work, you're already in a very good place where you're starting to become focused. And now when you're on your way into work, what you should be thinking of is the first couple of things that you're going to do when you hit your desk. And if you did this the right way, you're coming into a clear and clean desk. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. But when you hit that desk, you've already reviewed your plan of attack for the day. You've already thought about the first couple things that you have to get accomplished when you get into work. And guess what? You're off and running and you're in the zone. Now the zone, another important thing we got to talk about here. You have to be able to stay in the zone. The zone is a very important thing. It's nothing more than a state of high concentration and focus. We've all been in it at one time or another. Truly successful people know how to stay in the zone. So when you hit that desk and you get going, stay in the zone. That's how you maintain productivity and efficiency, and you're continuing to generate that momentum that we're talking about, right? Now, the big thing that kills the zone is distractions. So one of the big things that you have to do here is you need to learn how to limit distractions. I hate to say this, but one of the biggest distractions is social media. Now look, Z's not telling you to get off of Facebook, delete your account or anything like that. Look, Facebook is a great thing, okay? But it's also one of the biggest distractions out there. If you look at the amount of screen time that you're spending on Facebook, you'd be mind blown. I mean, I've heard of stories where people on average are spending upwards of 2 hours a day scrolling their news feeds on Facebook. Now stop and think about this. You want to be productive. You want to achieve goals. You want to attain success at a high level. You want to start winning in life. What is scrolling Facebook for 2 or 3 hours going to do for you? Right? It's serving as a distraction and it's taking you out of the zone. It's limiting your productivity. It's killing your momentum, right? I mean, stop and think about it. You're going on there for hours at a time, right? And you're scrolling and you're scrolling and you're fixating on, the likes of Stacy, Susie, Jenny, and Ann, Johnny, Jimmy, Henry, and Dan, right? Well, they're all great people, but look, is what they're doing helping you achieve anything? Is it helping you stay on point? No, it's not. It's serving as a distraction. I mean, the types of things that you're looking at is like, ooh, look at this, scrolling my feeds. Oh, Jenny and Johnny went to the beach today. Ooh, wow, Jenny and Johnny are eating ice cream now. Oh my God, I think I see whipped cream in Jimmy's, which, by the way, if you live outside New England, Jimmy's are just sprinkles, okay? But I think you get my point, right? It's a distraction. You've got to limit that distraction. So, big thing here to stay in the zone, staying focused, limit those distractions. And social media is one of the worst ones. Stop and think about what that has to do with what you're trying to accomplish, okay? I'm not saying don't go on Facebook, right? When I go on Facebook, I'll be doing something for an hour or two. I'm grinding at something. I pop my head up. All right, I'll go scroll my news feeds for anywhere between about 30 and 60 seconds, right? And then I'm done. I probably do that somewhere between half a dozen to a dozen times a day. I'd say overall, my footprint on Facebook is probably 10 minutes a day. Whereas there's a lot of people out there that they're on there for an hour and a half, sometimes even upwards of 2 hours per day. What does that have to do with getting you to where you want to be? All right? It doesn't have anything to do with it. You're just sitting there and you're obsessing with what other people are doing and you're not making any progress when you're doing that. And I already know what you're going to say. You're going to say, yeah, Z, that's kind of true. But you know what? When I go on Facebook, it's for a few minutes here, a few minutes there. Even that cumulative time that you're about to suggest that I should be invested into something else, because it's spread out throughout the day, I can't do anything. All right, you know what? That's baloney. You can do something with it. How about this? If nothing more than 30 push-ups and 30 sit-ups. Stop and think about that. Anytime that you want to be distracted, to go on some sort of social media and take yourself out of the zone and then let that distraction turn into something bigger that takes you off point, knock out 30 push-ups, knock out 30 sit-ups, and then get back in the zone. These are the types of habits that you need to start developing to stay on point, keep that momentum going, and keep creating that productivity during the course of the day. Now, one other thing on productivity is procrastination. Procrastination is a big killer. Do not put off until tomorrow what you can get done today. Highly successful people are masters at doing this. If you want to be much of the same, you have to learn that same habit. All right? There's always opportunities where, I get it, you're working hard, you're grinding, you need a little break, and it's a temptation to, oh man, I'm tired, I'm a little bit fatigued, I'll put this off till tomorrow. You know what? You don't know what's going to fall into your lap tomorrow. You may have some big undertaking that falls your way the next day, and now all of a sudden you have not only what you didn't get done today, but you have that to contend with, right? Get in the habit of doing things sooner than later, and do not put off until tomorrow what you know you can get done today. All right, it's one of the key things. And once you learn to do this, it's going to become easy. All these habits that I'm talking about, they may seem difficult at first, but once you do them for a few weeks, they're eventually going to start becoming easier and easier to master. Now, the last thing, and it ties in with procrastination, is before you leave work, make sure you're leaving work with a clean and clear desk. And specifically what I'm talking about is everything is addressed. So when you walk into work the next morning, you have a clean and clear desk that's all spun up. You're not playing catch up from the day before. That's already putting you behind the power curve and taking you out of the zone the following day. Effectively, you're losing the day before you even start the day. So when you walk out of work, all your emails, all your phone calls, everything should be addressed. And again, what you can't get done that day should not be put off until the next day. All right, so get in the habit of doing that. Even if it's nothing more than just email somebody back and say, hey, I don't have the answer to what you asked, but you know what? I'll address it tomorrow. I'll start looking at it tonight. Get in the habit of doing that. All right, I'm going to bring this video to a close right here. I try to keep these things as short and concise as I can. Tune in for number 3, and we're going to talk about what you do with the rest of the day once you're outside of work to keep on winning the day and getting you to start winning in life.